This is Sneaker Gears. My name is Levi, and today we have a performance update on a Kobe 8 Protro, or Performance Retro, which I love calling it nowadays. And what we're looking at too is what cushioning you can use in your Kobe 8 to upgrade it and take it to the next level. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the Kobe 8 is still technically the lightest basketball shoe Nike has ever made, and is actually the second lightest basketball shoe ever made by any company. The traction is a solid, just herringbone, nothing go wrong with it. It is still a very solid traction pattern, although maybe there's some better stuff out there. It works really well. Comes with a nice support piece on it versus something like the new 360, where you have your shank plate, you have a solid heel cup, and this is the first basketball shoe to use that engineered mesh, just done absolutely perfectly. And I feel like something like the Kyrie line, or even when they went to the Kobe 10, really kind of dropped the ball from something like this. So the biggest fault when they came out with this was the lunar cushioning was made to be incredibly light. But because of that, they really didn't make it to last that long. So this lunar cushioning, although it worked really well, it gave you a slight bounce, you were really close to the ground, it did fade away. So a lot of folks who have Kobe 8s, who had Kobe 8s, the shoe may be perfectly fine, but it's just not working for you because it really starts to hurt your joints. So they did have a few versions. This is one of the few superhero versions that had the zoom error and the heel on the forefoot. But ironically, they didn't use lunar. They actually used just a regular Phylon. So even though the zoom was underneath, it was super hard. So this wasn't really as enjoyable as you might think. So if you're trying to find and track one down, it definitely works. This is something you do have that impact protection, but this is going to feel something like the new CP3 or closer to something like the new Kyrie Low, where you have that zoom. It does give you impact protection, but it's nothing to write home about. Another option is getting one of the new Kobe Mamba lines in the Rage or the Instinct. I know they have a few different names, and it's all really the same shoe. It came with a full lunar drop-in that was almost tit for tat, an exact same thing that you could use in your Kobe 8. So this is something you're able to buy, slot in there, and just hopefully breathe some new life into your Kobe 8. Now this is a slightly different lunar just because it's a little bit more dense. It doesn't have the same properties of being as lightweight or as bouncy, but it's still lunar. You're still going to feel very familiar as this underfoot. Obviously, I would recommend going size for size. I'm a 13 in my Kobe 8s. I got a 13 in the Mamba Rage, and they work just fine. Now, one of the bigger updates you can do, but it's just getting harder to find, is a Lebron 8 midsole. This came with lunar and a full-length zoom insole, or underneath. Now, what was nice about this is it did fit, but it was kind of thick, so you did have some issues as far as if you had a high instep, you had to change the laces, but all in all, it worked really well, and it worked better once that lunar gave in. It would become a little bit more firm, and you'd feel that zoom quite a bit more. The problem with this is this came out in the Lebron 11, and now we have our Lebron 16 coming out, so you're talking about something that's over 5 years old to work in a replacement for a shoe that maybe you have in great condition, but needs a cushioning. That's going to be hard to find. So what do you do if you have a Kobe 8, or you just want to buy another Kobe 8 and you're worried about the cushioning, because it is something that will fade over time and that does harden. So a lot of that performance properties of this having a cushioned basketball shoe goes away, and you lose all the other amazing properties of this shoe. Well, I'm here to tell you today our Sneaker Gears insole with our Velosity cushioning actually slots in underneath the lunar, and it works really well. The smile on my face is because I was shocked. I didn't think it would fit. I thought it would throw off the sizing. But if you're using a Kobe 8 insole, so not something from the Kobe 9, not something from the Kobe 11, and you're putting it in here, one, the Kobe 8 insole is actually rather thin. It's the thinnest and lightest they've ever done on any of the midsoles on the Kobe line. Two, if you've worn it or used it for any amount of time, it actually has molded to your foot. It's actually even thinner. So it's kind of giving you a custom orthotic, as it were. And three, because it's still lunar, obviously it's going to be a little bit softer than something you're getting and just Phylon here. So it's still going to work with it, but when you put the Velosity cushion underneath, all of a sudden you're getting a lot of bounce. It works. It's crazy. I'm super excited. That's something I can bring to the Kobe line because I'm a huge Kobe fan. And as much the player as the whole sneaker line with how they've evolved the performance of basketball sneakers. But if you're going to buy a performance insole from Sneaker Gears, this is using our Velosity cushion. It's 9 millimeters thick. It is giving you a legit bounce. You want to use this underneath the Lunar insole for your Kobe 8. Hopefully you guys can get maybe one of the nicer colorways. It's probably going to be used. I don't know if you can find a dead stock pair, but if you can, I can tell you pretty much your issues are solved, because that's the biggest problem with the Kobe 8. So you're able to get a Kobe 8 at our insoles, and you have a full Protro with that full length bounce cushioning with our Velosity cushion in there, and it feels amazing. I have multiple pairs. I actually still have 2 pairs that are dead stock with my Kobe 8s, and I have been playing in them more often just because they really are really lightweight. This is going to be a very similar feel to what your Kobe 360 is giving you, but obviously that's a very different feel, and I'll have the update on the 360 if these work or not, and kind of give you guys some updates on what shoes you can use in. But as far as making your Kobe 8 a Protro, you can do it. Get our Velocity cushion. You can get it on sneakergears.com. Makes a huge difference. Guys, girls, hopefully you appreciated the information on the channel. Hope I was able to help some of you guys out. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and any questions you guys have, anything I didn't answer, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. This is Levi with Sneaker Gears, and I'll be coming at you soon.